our energy system is transferring over the past decade. The cost of solar power has plummeted due to economics of scale and improved technology. The price of solar equipments have dropped by 89%. Since 2010, the cost for wind power has plunged as well. To these decrease, the new solar and wind investment are usually cheaper than natural gas and coal investments. However, renewables still have one major setback: energy storage for utility-scale systems. Renewables need a way to store excess energy from windy and sunny days for cloudy and calm days. To help with this, researchers are developing new methods to store large amounts of energy. Some examples include storing energy as heat in materials, compressing air, or turning air into a liquid. Although it remains to be seen which method is best, these solutions will certainly be implemented for large-scale utility in the future. By 2050, renewables are expected to provide in nearly half of all world electricity. But that's not all. As solar and wind begin to dominate the energy sector, fusion power will rise. Currently, fusion power is purely speculative. However, 35 nations are collaborating on it at a $20 billion project in France to test the feasibility of fusions for power generation. ITER will work by creating a fusion-powered plasma inside an experimental machine. The walls of the machine will absorb the energy, using it to produce steam that will generate electricity with turbines. Bidders' first plasma is planned for December 2025. By 2050, we could have fully functional fusion power plants operating more efficiently than any other power source in history. With the NASA's Artemis program, it's planning to land humans back on the moon by 2024. SpaceX, Dynetics, and Blue Origin are all working on landers for the project. After the moon, NASA wants to send humans to Mars sometime in the 2030s. SpaceX is even more ambitious. They are developing the Starship, a rocket that they hope will send humans to Mars by 2024. Once they get their SpaceX planes to establish a permanent colony by 2050, Elon Musk plans to have a Martian city with as many as 1 million people. SpaceX is also developing Starlink, thousands of satellites that will provide the world's most advanced broadband internet system. Other space companies such as Blue Origin, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and Virgin Galactic are all racing for space as well. In 30 years, we might have a permanent colony on the moon, space hotels in orbit, in humans on Mars. By 2050, our food consumption will be widely different, mostly due to the meat. Livestock contributes to 15% of human greenhouse gas emissions and uses 26% of the Earth's terrestrial surface to feed our growing population. While lowering emissions, we must move away from meat. Assisting with this, our meat alternatives companies like Beyond Meat and Impossible Food have obtained billions-dollar valuations, supplying the rapidly growing meat alternatives market. In addition, plant-based diets as a whole are growing in popularity. Then there is cultured meat. Cultured meat is meat produced by in vitro cells cultured. It avoids the slaughtering of animals and produces very minimal emissions. By 2050, we will likely have in vitro T-bone steaks produced for the masses to meet the demand for increased plants in the growing population. While escaping the uncertainty of the changing climate, farms will move indoors, vertical, and into cities. The vertical farming market is exploding. By 2050, there will be large-scale vertical farms all around the world, feeding the growing populations while using very little land and water as our food consumption transforms.